Good afternoon, everyone. Our top story today, the worst of the Omicron surge appears to be behind us. That's the word today from state health leaders.
It's a major factor in lifting the mask requirement at the end of March, which the state announced earlier this week. Our Mike Benner listened to a news conference with Oregon's health and school leaders today. And Mike, this news is definitely encouraging.
Yeah, it sure is, Ashley. A return to normal life is within reach. That according to the state epidemiologist. He says COVID numbers are looking good. And while we can't abandon all precautions we've taken over the last couple of years, definitely not in the next couple of months at least, we can start to look at loosening things up a bit.
The worst of the Omicron surge appears to be behind us.
State epidemiologist Dr. Dean Seidlinger sharing some promising news Friday. The COVID-19 virus is losing momentum. Seidlinger says newly diagnosed cases of COVID have fallen 71% from the peak just a few weeks ago. Test positivity is declining, and daily COVID-related hospitalizations appear to have crested.
Recall that when we first sounded the Omicron alarm last December, credible projections called for hospitalizations to be more than twice as high as we've experienced. Thankfully, we never realized that dreaded breaking point.
Seidlinger points to people getting vaccinated and boosted, limiting gatherings and unnecessary travel, and of course, wearing masks, a requirement that'll be lifted at the end of March for both public indoor spaces and schools. Though when it comes to schools, the director of the Oregon Department of Education says individual school districts will make the final call about whether or not to drop masking.
Our school districts need to have thoughtful conversations about the impacts of moving away from universal masking and what that will look like for every individual that they serve. They also need time to talk to their staff and make sure that those staff feel comfortable interacting with dozens of students and individuals every single day. They need to have discussions with their community.
With more than 6 weeks to go until the mask mandate is lifted, it's unclear what school districts will do. Only time will tell. What is clear is this.
Our emergence from the Omicron onslaught depends on our continued diligence over the next 2 months. We cannot risk squandering our hard-earned progress when a return to normal life is finally, and at long last, within our reach.
After that mask mandate is lifted at the end of next month, there's always a chance that conditions can worsen. But Dr. Seidlinger alluded to it being highly unlikely that conditions would get so bad we would need another mask mandate. We shall see. Ashley?
All right, Mike, thank you. A new study from the CDC shows COVID booster shots lose substantial effectiveness after about 4 months. But researchers say they did provide significant protection and kept people out of the hospital during the worst of the Omicron surge. The study also found that boosters are only highly effective for about 2 months, which may suggest the need for people to get additional doses. The data shows there is some protection against variants for people who just have the initial 2 doses of vaccine.
Also on the vaccine front, Pfizer is postponing FDA authorization for its vaccine for young children. Today, Pfizer postponed its FDA application to expand use of its 2-dose COVID vaccine to kids as young as 6 months. The company says it needs more data. It's currently testing whether 3 doses of the vaccine may be most effective for this age group. That data is expected in early April. Earlier data showed that 2 doses did not generate a strong enough immune response in kids aged 2 to 4. The doses given to younger kids are a fraction of what adults and older children receive.
Vancouver police are trying to figure out who put hate-filled flyers on doorsteps this week. The flyers include conspiracy theories about Jews and the pandemic. Police say they got reports of multiple flyers distributed in 2 different locations, at homes in the area of Southeast Evergreen Highway and Chelsea Avenue, and then at businesses and on parked cars in downtown Vancouver. The Anti-Defamation League also got complaints about the flyers. Now, they've turned up in other cities recently, too, from Miami to San Francisco. And as Vancouver got hit, the ADL says Eugene saw the same thing this week.
This group is a loose group of nationwide individuals who spew very virulent anti-Semitic attitudes and beliefs. So unfortunately, it's a string and a continuation of what we've been seeing over the past couple of months.
Vancouver police ask you to call them if you have any information about who distributed these flyers.
The Portland Timbers are making a change to the roster after accusations of domestic abuse surfaced against player Andy Polo. Earlier this week, Polo's former partner spoke on a Peruvian television program, saying he was physically and emotionally abusive. A Washington County police report shows Polo was also cited last May after an argument got physical. The Timbers knew about that incident, but didn't do anything about it.
The fact that it did come to this point, that she needs to go to the media for it to become an issue and them to do the right thing. You know, I can tell you, I speak for not only myself, but a lot of other people that I know. This is hitting them really, really hard.
No charges were pursued by prosecutors or the former partner. The team said not suspending Polo immediately was a failure on their part. Polo denies the allegations. Oregon will be getting millions of dollars this year to expand charging stations for electric vehicles. It's part of what the federal government is giving to states. Almost $5 billion was approved federally through the bipartisan infrastructure deal that passed back in November. That money will be going out across the country over the next 5 years. This week, Oregon Senators Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley announced the state will get $7.7 million from the fund.
There's some good news for Oregon's crab season. After starting on time for the first time in several years, this year's season is breaking records. Today, our Bryant Clerkley checked in with the Oregon Crab Commission. And Bryant, we're just a couple months in now. This catch is really promising.
That's right. It's really exciting for a lot of these crabbers, these fishermen, Ashley and Brittany. Now, so far this season, the season started on December 1st, and so far these fishermen have made $80 million, and they haven't seen revenue like this since the 2017-2018 season.
Those crab fishermen are going to take that money that comes in and they're going to spend it locally. They're going to and throughout the state.
That's $80 million fishermen have made so far this season, which is record-breaking according to Tim Novotny with the Oregon Dungeness Crab Commission. In the 2017 to 2018 season, fishermen made about $74 million. Novotny says the season doesn't end until August, so each week could break another record.
But everything has fallen into place like we have not seen it in maybe a decade or longer. You know, it's just been unbelievable how everything is kind of lined up for the fleet this year.
Tawnette Dixon is a small boat owner in Newport, Oregon, and works with Newport Fishermen's Wives, an organization that supports families in the fishing industry. Her boat is currently out crabbing, and she's feeling the excitement from this record-breaking season. She says when the season starts later than December 1st, they can struggle financially.
This is the time we struggle because we have to make boat payments, and it's just been a relief. It's been so much off of our stress level, and to have our crew happy.
Sometimes the season can be delayed due to multiple factors, including price negotiations and condition and growth of the crabs. Laura Anderson owns Local Ocean Seafoods in Newport. She says when the fishermen do well, it trickles down into her business.
When those people do well, businesses like mine do well. They come out to eat, they shop in the market, and it feels good.
So far this season, fishermen have collected 15 million pounds of crab, and then last season they only collected 12 million the entire season. So they're up ahead by a lot this year. Ashley, Brittany.